Hello, Allison. Hello, Allison. Hello, Allison. Happy Tuesday, and we hope that this session goes well, and we're just right around the corner. Hello, Allison. We just wanted to wish you well for this Tuesday. Today's theme for us is lessons learned doing urban gardening, or guerrilla gardening as you call it, and permaculture ways. Let's get to it. So one really cool thing that we learned this year was you have also been doing it, and that is using wood chip. There are the chickens. Using wood chip or mulch as a way to kind of trap moisture into our soil as it breaks down. We're getting ready to tear up all this and start a second crop of greens, likely kale and spinach and stuff like that. Broccoli is doing well. It's about, I don't know, close to 4.5 feet tall. And as you said, these guys should keep going until the end of September, hopefully. Our tomatoes are doing well. We're just letting them go wild. They're over 6 feet tall. And of course, the bean pole is pretty tall. I don't know how high it goes. I would say maybe 8-9 feet. And it's producing well. But anyways, let me get back to our main theme, which is creating soil. Our potatoes, I'm just letting them go wild. Can't really hill it up anymore because we don't have any way to confine the soil. But here's where we can tell the story for this week. Now here we have basic topsoil or compost that we got from the city, and it's very dark, but as you can see, it's crumbly. It's not really holding moisture, but it's not doing too bad. Now if we go a little bit past, and I'm gonna pick up this soil here. It's in the sun, it should be baking. And basically, all of this greenage, so our carrots that are really going crazy, peas growing along the trestle, we have some cabbage that's starting to grow back there. And then a whole bunch of greens like this, and we're getting ready to tear up this and start our next crop of kale and spinach. But the story is the soil, and we use this type of mulch. Now this is the new mulch that was put on just a couple of months ago. We dig a little bit deeper, and it's soil. And this is already starting to break down into what you would call soil. It's spongy, it's moist below the surface, and if I dig even deeper, you can really see that it is good soil. And if we squeeze it, you can feel the moisture coming out, and that's just from layering a high carbon source on top. It could be sawdust, but we're using wood chips, and you know, the wood chips that come from the bedding from the chickens is even better because it has more nitrogen mixed in it, and it's a little warmer and it starts to break down quicker than this. So you can see these wood chips are going to take a while to break down. This bed is relatively new, so let's check. So if I look at this soil here, which is basically topsoil from the city, it's not bad, but it's flaky and dry. If I turn around here, where we've had a chance to add more of the compost, mixed with wood chips, as you can see the big chunks. This is moist, so if I grab the soil and squeeze it, you can tell that there's enough moisture to make a ball. And this is what it looks like when it's basically done. We add in a little bit of charcoal, not really biochar, but close to it, and wood chip material that's broken down from the bedding, from the chickens, and that's perfect. This has enabled us, look at this. This has really enabled us to have this entire bed not watered once after the plants were put in. Even though we have the hose out here, we're really not using it. The peas may be a little bit dry, and we have a problem with predators starting to eat the base of the stalks, but we still have peas being produced. They're wonderful. So that's a cool lesson learned. But the more important lesson is this one. So we have our cabbage growing, and we basically try to leave as much of the cabbage undisturbed as possible. But we have plenty of greens, radish back there that we're just going to feed to the chickens. But some of these, like larger, it almost looks like it's it could be a green, like a turnip green or something like that, mustard greens. We just rip one of these leaves. Let me get a couple more. And what normally would go to waste, or sometimes we cook this up. It's a little fibrous, but it's not bad this year. This is our chicken feed. So we have all of this green that we can't possibly eat and manage it all. Some of it will freeze, like the kale looks very good for us, but the other mustard greens and collard greens and stuff like that, they're big leaves, and some of them have bugs on it, and this becomes our perfect chicken feed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how the chickens love this stuff. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the chickens out and then show you how they go crazy for what we would call our leftover greens. So again, the leaves from broccoli, like any of the brassicas, the collard greens, the mustard greens, kale and spinach is just too valuable. So it's nice that we shift over to these larger greens. Hey, back. Hold on. Now one of the problems is these leaves are too big. Sorry. The leaves are too big. So right now I kind of have to hold it so they can get a reasonable size piece. But look at them. Want some leaves? And during the warm months, when we have these plants available, this will make up anywhere from 70 to 85% of their diet. So we're not using the store-bought grains anymore. Even though the store-bought grains, or the grain mix, is organic, it's kind of expensive, and with COVID, prices have really gone up. So to have plants straight from the garden that are beyond organic, no chemicals touched our soil, and we've made our soil from the bedding and the accumulation of compost, and then city compost. So the plants are very resilient, and if we had some way to test our eggs for micronutrient quantity, that'd be kind of interesting, because I imagine the lutein and astaxanthin levels are off the charts, because as you can see right now. Garden material is their predominant source of food. And then when we have enough worms, we'll feed them the worms. And we also have mealworms growing in the garage in our small little container. So we'll supplement with that. But just with this material, and John can testify to the hardness of the shells. We don't need oyster shells or any other calcium source because there's plenty of calcium coming from the green leafy material that we give them on a regular basis. And we don't have to supplement with any vitamins or other trace minerals because they're getting enough here. The yolks are great, although untested. And I imagine if we wanted to test for omega-3, they would be relatively high in omega-3. So that's our lesson for the week. It's cheaper to grow their food. And we just have to figure out a way that we can both share the exploits of the garden.